Greetings, friends and fiends. My name is Fanny, and today we shall be looking at the tibia. Yes, the tibia is this wonderful bone that connects the femur, the femur with the foot. So it does perform quite a useful function, and fortunately it seems to always be getting hurt in ways that are quite painful. So today we shall be looking at how the tibia can be drawn and analyze it for its structure, or how it connects to other things, its muscles, as well as how we can simplify it and maybe make drawing it a little easier, or if you want to stylize it. So, let's begin. I shall now begin the 10-minute timer in 3, 2, 1, go. Okie dokie. So, if we take a look at the tibia in our friend zygote, we shall see that, okay, if we just do this and then go here and then bring in the bones, we can see that this is the femur. Oh, tibia, yes. And, oh, I did not notice that. It seems that it has a little friend called the fibula. Yes, the fibula. So the fibula seems to be like a backbone to the tibia. Interesting. So if we take a look at the tibia on its own, we shall see that it is very similar to the femur, actually, it seems. A few things to note, though. Well, I guess not too much, but if we take a look, we can see that the... Oh, yes, and as for tradition, not tradition, but I do like to try using a new brush each time. So I'm going with this new brush over here. This looks kind of like a pencil. But anyway, I digress. We shall begin with the structure. So the structure seems to be somewhat flat at the top, kind of like a table. So if we get a bit more perspective on that, yes. Especially from the top, it looks a little flat, with little bumps here and there. Then they sort of come down and meet in a central line, which goes downward. And at least from the front, it seems fairly straightforward. I mean, if we go to, remember last video, when we looked at the femur has a little bit of an inward bend, so that this lines up here, and this doesn't quite reach there. But the tibia, on the other hand, seems to, so this one seems to line up pretty well, but this one is also, so I guess you can use that if you want. The bones, the femur and tibia, both have this property, I suppose, where the inside seems to line up almost exactly with the bottom, the top and bottom seem to line up, and on the left side, on the inside, but on the outside bone sticks out a little farther. So if you'd like to use that, then feel free to. Yes, but once again, I'm not sure how useful this is for people who aren't really drawing skeletons. But anyway, yes, so that seems to be the basic structure of the tibia from the front. From the side, however, you can see that, so that's interesting. It seems to be slightly bent backwards. So in the femur, if you recall, it was bent a little forward, like bent inwards, outwards, yes, sorry, like a bow, slightly. But this one, it's more like a leaning tower of Pisa. So if you take this, if you want to exaggerate it, you can go something like this size, perhaps. So if you want to stylize your tibia as to be a little more like that, I guess you can. It won't break too much convention, I don't think, because as long as it reads, then, of course, as long as it looks nice, then do whatever you wish to yourself. Oh, I mean, like, if you like to draw something that looks nice, please go ahead and do whatever you want. As without experimentation, we wouldn't have anything. Anyway, not to have an existential crisis or anything, but yes. So, basic structure of the tibia. Seems to be a little flat at the top, and then on the inside, on the bottom, kind of rounded, and going on the inside. So this is actually that bone. So I've always wondered what that thing, that bulge at the bottom of the feet is, and that's actually from the tibia. That's actually quite fascinating. So if you ever draw a leg, then you can say that this bulge at the bottom is actually from the tibia, and then it comes up like this. Okay, so it's kind of like a little nook here, and then comes out in, but just very small, of course, because it's just that small bulge, and then it comes up very straight, and then comes flat. Yes, wonderful. So that seems to be the tibia. From the inside, yeah. So that is actually the origin of that bulge, which is fascinating. I didn't know that. So it's good to know, and I suppose this one is that outside wall. Anyway, yes. Now we shall be moving on to the joint connections. So if we turn on the joints on our zygote viewer thingy-majiggy, you can see that, yes, our friend the femur connects to it like so. If I hide the muscles, then we can see that there's not much there. But ligaments activated, we see that, yes, there's actually quite a bit. So in the last video, I kind of, I suppose I guessed that these ligaments are usually around surrounding areas that have a lot of potential for motion. So we have the feet, the legs, this area, spine, of course, has a lot of ligaments because running that all day, and neck, joints, arms. So I suppose that these ligament areas kind of indicate where a lot of motion can happen. So if you're ever drawing a person, then and you want to stick to rigid bodies, like maybe not Mickey Mouse, anyway, or Spinel, you can see that these areas are ligamentless, so they might have less motion, while these ligament encapsulated areas might allow for a bit more motion. So just to note that, so we'll just draw those in. So a lot of ligaments that surround here, and a little bit of ligaments that surround here, like bands. Yes, not too much, as much as here, because yes, these feet don't go all the way back as much as our legs do. Well, I suppose that's not true, but it does seem like more ligaments indicates more range of motion. But I guess I shall leave that to the medical personnel to discuss. Anyway, that's a bit outside of my area of expertise, but anyway, we shall, sorry for saying anyway so many times. Anyway, we shall now move on to the muscles. So, turning on the muscle viewer, take a look, nice little look here. You can see that the muscles, if that one could just render a little bit, just a little bit more, okay, I suppose not. But yes, these seem to be the muscles. This one, you're so important. I think you're important. Oh no. Okay, maybe do this. Turn this up. Okay. Go back here. Turn these off. Okay, now we have full muscles. All of the muscles, so if we see here, so there it is. So the way I kind of memorized this when I was first drawing the human is that the inner ones have this bulge, so bulge on the inside, and then I kind of squeezed in the middle, like a squeezed in the middle. So it's like bulge and bulge, like this, for memorizing the bulges. And then on the outside, it's out like a top and then bottom. So the inner ones are kind of bunched together, the bulges for the muscles, and the bone down here. So now that we know this is the tibia bone, which is kind of fascinating. Anyway, if we take a look at the muscles, so now we know why, I guess we can see why we have shin guards, and why these muscles seem to be, quite painful. There isn't actually too much muscle protecting them. Oh no. So yes, please be careful with your tibias because they seem to be like quite defenseless actually. This looks, anyway, just looking at it gives me a little thing. Yeah, so the femur is like pretty well protected, but like, I mean, except for like this outside area like here. But anyway, yes, tibia. And the muscles that go around it, if we use an orange color, reddish color, warmer color, seem to be something like so. Well, that's the side view. So if we come over here to our front view, see that it's more like this. So on the top, closer to the little nook that we saw earlier, that's where the muscles bulge out. And then there seems to be two muscles, so you'd have something like this, and then like that. So it comes out and in. Yes. Out and in, like an S. Out and in. Out and in. So I guess you could use that for simplification. And then on the outside, it's more like an out, in, out, in. So if you were to quickly test this out, so out and in, so an S for there, where it connects to the bulge. And then we have the out, in. Maybe that's a little too much, but yes, I suppose that might be the basic principle of how you might want to may visualize this in the future. And then if we take a look at it from the side view, so our side view, you can see that it's more like yes, so it's kind of like if you've studied normal distributions, this kind of looks like this reminds me of a normal distribution. for the statistics and probability students out there. But otherwise, it looks kind of like a hill. Yes, you could say it's kind of like a hill. And of course, when these muscles bunch up, they might tighten and get smaller, but yes, when they're relaxed, it seems at least, they go like so. And yes, then they lead into the bottom of the foot. And at the front, actually, that's quite interesting. There seems to be a bit of muscle coming out here. So there's like a mini hill here and like a big hill there. This is probably just from the outside, so not too much, but like slightly. There we go. So, simplifications. So if you would like to stylize your tibias, what can you do? So I suppose one thing that we can know is for the angle of this, you can make this like as steep as you want. You can, if you look at it from the front, they are kind of long, so you can lengthen them. You can make their ligaments bigger, so if you want like huge rings of motion, and also the muscles, they're like an S, but you can also make them more dramatic, like this and like that. But yes, anyway, that's it. Yes, that's the time, I suppose, to kind of summarize what we learned today on a brand new layer. For a bit of some active recall action, we can see that the tibia is a bone that connects the, kind of patella, I suppose. What this is called again? Just had the ligaments for a second. I'm so sorry. There we go. Patella, yes, the patella, and the, you say this? Femur, that's right. Sorry, last class. So femur and patella are connected to the tibia, and the tibia connects to the foot. So that's just a note. Structure, I think one of the main structure points today is that this tibia, that I found quite interesting, is that the tibia is actually the origin of that bulge at the bottom of your foot. So if you reach down and touch your foot, hopefully, and then you can touch it. So there it is. That's the tibia, actually. And you might be able to feel these muscular vulnerability that we apparently have. I mean, you might be like, if you just reach down and like feel it climbing all the way up, yep, that's danger zone. So please be careful if you, yes, of your tibias. Anyway, so that's that. And if we look at muscles, joints, quite simple. It connects with the femur and patella, so big range of motion there. And also, when it connects the foot, there's a big range of motion here. So I guess we can say conclusively that in standard human form, the tibia will not be moving around, wiggling around all that much. I mean, will not be bending, hopefully. But yes, that is good. So yes, quickly, joints. And finally, we have the muscles. Well, not finally, but muscles. You can do it as like an S, and like that. And that should be a basic way to look at the muscles. So there's like a huge muscle here and like a weaker muscle here. Smaller, not weaker, sorry. And then there's a big muscle here, which actually shows up on the side view. So I suppose we should look at that. Side view is something like this, slightly slanted with a bit of a slope. And from the front, it has a small thing, but from the back, it has like a normal distribution, hill-shaped, there, mound. So yes, that is for muscles. And if you'd like to simplify, then of course you can always go with like the standard exaggerating certain elements. So you can exaggerate this and that, okay, you can say, or you can make it completely straight if you want, or you can make it non-existent at all. You can make it wiggly or something. But of course, that's up to you. And if you'd like to simplify it though, like really simplify it, suppose what you could do is straight line, just to indicate where the tibia is. Then you know where the bulge for your foot is, because it's like the end point. And you would know where the connection to the other leg is, as well as the foot. So you'd be able to figure that kind of thing out. And then if you want to apply skin to this, like if you're sketching on multiple layers, or if you're just going straight to the outside, you could put like an S shape here. There we go. Making sure that this part is closer to the leg than to the bottom than this part. And this is on the outside, by the inside, by the way. If you're drawing it from the outside, then you draw. If this was like for an inside leg, like a right leg from the front, then it would be something like this, like a backwards S. Sorry, backwards S. You need to practice that. Backwards S, and then on the right outside, it will be something like this. So straight and then down. Yes. Maybe we can take a look at the adult female. Or maybe we were already on the adult female. Oopsie daisies, that's wrong. And then we come over here and there. Then yes. seems quite similar. And then turn on muscles. Yes, muscles seems to be quite similar. So yes, if you'd like to draw that, then yeah, that's one option. And you can also, of course, make the S curvier or a lot longer or wider or straighter if you'd like. So you can, imagine the S could be something like this. So, could become like, and then this could be something like that if you'd really like to go straight. So, with your lines. Anyway, I suppose that shall conclude today's 10-minute study, and I hope that you were able to hopefully learn a little bit. I certainly did. Like always, these 10-minute studies are quite something. I really enjoy doing them. But of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I quite enjoy when something like that happens because it allows me to answer questions which actual people are actually asking, which is nice. And I suppose I shall see, or not, well, I guess not see, but I shall how shall I say this? I shall speak with you all next, not speak, I shall demonstrate, I shall be studying again next time with another 10-minute study, where we might be studying going up here or down there. I still haven't decided because, yes, anyway. Tests. But anyway, I suppose that shall conclude today's 10-minute study. So I thank you all for watching this with me today, and I shall see you all next time. So thank you, and please have a nice day. Goodbye.